Good day. How's everyone doing? Anyway, this is just a follow-up to the live I made a couple of days ago. I'm not sure if you saw the live. Pretty much I was just talking about the tree that I had to get trimmed or even cut in the backyard. And pretty much this morning I just had another estimate from someone that actually I got his number. He was doing a tree removal, real close to me, so I knew that he worked in the area. A nice guy. He came over this morning, and unlike the other three guys that I spoke about in the previous videos, once he came out right away, we got right to it. But unlike the other two guys, he really didn't talk about the type of tree and stuff it was. He just really got down to the basics as far as the job that was required. So during the conversation, I mentioned, I didn't even mention, I asked him, what type of tree it was, and he got right to it, that it was a walnut tree. Again, that was the big stumbling block. If you watch the prior videos, make sure you go and you watch the prior videos that I made. I'm not going to really explain exactly with the whole walnut tree, just to entice you a little bit to check out the prior lives. But anyway, this is just a quick live, following up on the good parts. And again, my good parts is dealing with this tree again. I just had confirmation, after talking to the tree guy on why I shouldn't cut the tree down. I don't know if you could notice this little tree house on this same tree that we're considering taking the whole tree down. And as I went inside after talking to the tree trimmer removal guy, whatever, I just happened to glance out at the tree, because again, still this is the area of focus now, still deciding on what I'm going to do with this tree. And I saw a little bird that pretty much just come out on the ledge of the birdhouse. And this birdhouse has been up here. We put this thing up. Time moves so quick. It had to be over 5 years, that's another story. I don't know if you see the little cut limb that the birdhouse is sitting on. But looking at that brings a memory. The day that we were putting the tree house up, myself and my two sons, the plan was to actually put a little notch in the branch, so the birdhouse can sit on there. I didn't want to cut the whole branch down, but my oldest son, he was actually the one in charge of this, and I was pretty much directing. And pretty much when we handed him the sawzall, not really sure what happened, but he cut into the branch, and instead of putting a notch, the whole branch ended up falling over. And me and my other son, my youngest son Messiah, we got such a kick out of it. We were just laughing so hard. So it was just a funny moment. But getting back to the birdhouse, looking at the birdhouse while I was looking out the window, the little bird, I saw him on the ledge, but I really wasn't sure if he just landed on the ledge, from just flying around, decided to use that as a stopping point. So I was definitely curious as, hey, does this guy live in there? And sure enough, the little bird jumped right in the birdhouse. Actually, he might be in the birdhouse now. So we have the squirrels sitting on this tree, and now we've got an actual resident in the birdhouse, which is on the tree. So I think that's definite confirmation that I'm not going to cut the tree, at least for this season. I'm still figuring out on what we're gonna do as far as trimming it. Worst come to worst, as you can see, the tree is actually starting to bud now. So even if I decide to come out with my, I've got one of those long tree trimming poles or whatever, and that was the actual plan for me to just come out and do exactly what I can, like I did with this other one back over here. As you see, actually, I had planned on cutting that all the way back. But anyway, not to make this live too long, the moral of the story is, like I mentioned before, a lot of times when we've got to make a decision, it's best to just hold off and just wait. If it's not something that's really pressing, because we will get the answer, one way or another, just as long as we pay attention to the little signs and stuff and things that are important to us as far as with this decision that we have to make. So no matter what, unless something just totally radically happened. Hey, how you doing, Margot? Thanks for joining the live. Like I was saying, unless something totally radical happens right now, it's fair to assume that this tree is not going to get cut for this season. The jury is still out as far as how much of it is going to be trimmed back, but at least I'm happy now because I have definite confirmation that I'm not going to cut this tree down. So starting out today, this is definitely the good parts, at least for right now, for me, concerning this tree. With this decision that I had to make, I have clarity. The decision is made unless something else pops up, which I'm always willing to pivot. That's one thing. Try not to be too rigid in your decisions, once you get new information. But based on the information that I have right now, the tree stays. So thanks for joining the live and allowing me to share this little experience with you. Make sure you go back and you check the prior videos, and I guess it'll make more sense to you, with this whole tree while you just looking at this tree. It'll make more sense, at least now. You're able to see the tree in question, because I think the other live, I'm not sure where I was when I was talking about it, but now you can actually see the tree, see the birdhouse, and as fate would have it, I know if I stay here long enough, the squirrel is gonna pop up, because that's just the way things usually happen. But anyway, like I said, make it a great day, and I will see you on the next slide.